What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. So today we are going to be looking at the Brett, Kaspa and Ponke charts to see where we're at. Before doing so, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in this VIP chat that has been contributing from, Nick, Jack, Mac, Reese, Depin. Shout out Depin, just smoking it on the Redo Longs. Lauren, thank you as well. Appreciate you all, man. This is going to be a great journey that we'll definitely enjoy together. And again, networking is key. Communication is key. If you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter where you're at. This is where this community is going to thrive off, where you can teach others and you can also learn from others. Remember, humble yourselves. That's all I ever teach. Humble, patience, conviction, a lot of different factors. Right, let's get cracking. So I've actually just removed all my indicators and support resistance lines for Brett, unfortunately. So the great one that I actually had, I've now lost it. What we'll do is for this master entry, I'll do a separate video on support and resistance lines, but what we're looking for is support zones on how to get a brilliant entry. Now, if you've not used TradingView, again, message if you want a TradingView tutorial, because knowing chart patterns and candlesticks, I won't be able to teach you everything. You'll need to do your own research on that. But teaching you how to navigate TradingView is so key. If you don't know how to do this, you're going to be at a loss. So anyway, what I normally do is I normally create horizontal lines like this, right, on the weekly, because these act as support and resistance zones. So we've got one there, and this is on the weekly, and then I'll probably put one here, and I mean, you could go here, maybe even there, yeah, maybe there. That's the next big support and resistance zone. Just giving you an indicator of how I look at things, and again, I'm doing this from scratch, so I'll always zoom out and look at a higher time frame. So a higher time frame, I can already see there's massive support and massive resistance here. And then the next big one is obviously within this window, which is the 13744 to the 15877. So we're currently in this middle block zone. So how do we know where to get a master entry? So looking at this just from a high time frame, and I'll be putting in a long probably on WEX once I sign up properly, because that'll be now what, my fourth leverage Brett trade, something like that. And I'll put the affiliate link within the description below. But this is the zone I think I'm going to be longing at anywhere if we get back down here. Will we get back down here? I don't know. That depends on Granddaddy Bitcoin. And I always say to you, look at Bitcoin before you look at the altcoins. But if we do get an entry, I'd be looking around here. And if we're looking at the 12 hourly, we're still looking at a bit of a roughly lower time frame from the higher time frame. We can see there's a lot of wicks here. There's a lot of support and resistance around this area. So if Brett breaks this support level, we could see a flash crash coming down here. And I'd be putting an entry in here, a buy limit, to buy around this zone, and then put your liquidation price below the 0.1. That would seem like a sensible bet. And that's personally what I'm going to be doing with the WEX trade that I'll get into either later, probably later today. And of course, you can always look at smaller time frames. They'll give you a better action as well, which is that we've just been rejected off the 136 level. So we've been rejected off there and we've come down. We've not really done much. We've gone sideways within this weekly support and resistance zone. And also what you can do is you can make little smaller zones and changing the pixel. So as you know, my previous chart that I had, I've done many of those, and then you can always clone it and then, put it there, whatever it might be. These might be local zones that you might be looking at. Personally, I'd want to see how it reacts here, but also we're looking at Bitcoin and seeing where Bitcoin goes. The other feat that, I wish I didn't delete that, but I deleted it by accident, is trend lines. So my trend lines are quite infamous that I've been looking at this symmetrical triangle, same one which we got on Ponke, which I'll show in a minute. And what we're looking for, again, if you don't know chart patterns, you do need to spend some time looking at chart patterns to see where the trend is, because this is your gateway to knowing when to enter. And look, if we look at the symmetrical triangle here, if I zoom out, you'll see we're bouncing off these trend lines beautifully. 1, 2, and then a 3. Could we come here? It's not off the cards. Look at, just try to take emotion out of the game. And I always say, look, everyone acts on emotions, but control your emotions. Could this come here? Yes, it could. It well could, because look, we've had a couple of bounces off it, and it could just come back and bounce here. In my opinion, and I know a lot of people here within my group as well, they know that the 0.11 level to get into Brett is a super entry. People would be, when it came down here, not a lot of people were buying. I was still buying. You can see my Twitter, all my receipts are on that. I kept buying. Literally nobody was talking about buying Brett. They were like, yeah, it's going to come down to 0.08, blah, blah, blah. Shout out to Depin again, because he got in on here, and I think Joel got in very early as well. But shout out to these guys that are buying in fear. When you buy in fear, and look, we've had, let me zoom in now. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, a full 24 hours, one day of just straight redness, right? And this could get even worse. This could come down and down and down and down. We don't know for sure, but just looking at it from here and here, this looks like it's going to be another red candle. I don't know how the day's going to turn out. It always depends on Bitcoin. But very similarly, if Bitcoin ends up here, then I think it's safe to assume Brett could come down here. I think it could. If it comes down here, I'd be very surprised, but even better entry. But look how it coincides with the symmetrical triangle, the yellow line here, the underline, right? And then it hits the top of this bracket, which was the top of the weekly. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is where you need to spend time. And rather than ask other people, what do they think, and this, that, and the other, formulate your own thesis as to where you think it might go. Because if you follow somebody blindly, it's your own fault. And I say this 100 times, you deserve to get rugged. You deserve to lose your money if you're following somebody blindly. Even myself. You can critique me all you want. Some of you might be like, you know what, CS, I think it'll actually come down here because it might need another retest, and it might need a spring retest. It might need a Wyckoff, a little Wyckoff accumulation phase where it'll have like a spring test. Again, this might be advanced for a lot of people, what a Wyckoff pattern is, etc., etc. But they might be right. The schematic and the accumulation range might be right around here. That could be, I could be wrong. But I'd be happy myself getting into an entry here on Brett. That's what I think. Okay. And coming back to my master entries, the 5 points. What are the demand zones? Again, risk management, I've already talked about that. But if you're somebody who's day trading, are you going to be putting up stop losses and take profits per day or over a week? Or are you doing a long-term trade like myself, which is, I'm just going to let this run. I believe in Brett. I believe Brett's going to $50 billion market cap, $50, $100. I'm aiming for the skies. I think this is going to be the one trade that changes my life, right? Most importantly, as I've just taught you, let the trade come to you. Stop chasing the trade. Have patience. Once you remove that doubt that you'll miss out, basically FOMOing in each and every time, you'll actually feel better about your trade. Like, actually, if I put a buy limit here, or maybe 0.12, right? If it comes down here and it clips it, I'd feel so much better than actually market buying here, because somebody's literally posted something on Twitter. And that's why socials are different. Socials can be a big distraction, and sometimes you do need to just turn them off. And again, it doesn't help when I'm bull posting all the time, but also know your levels. And then, yeah, unfortunately, like I said before, like sometimes you do need a punishment, in the sense of an experience where, oh, CS did tell me that. Oh, I did watch that CS video where he taught me about the psychology of a trader. Oh, he taught me how to flip 100 to like 4, 5, 6 figures. I just didn't listen. And that's your own doing. I can only give you the education. And again, I'm not trying to be that dickhead that is like, ah, ha, 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 I told you so. Honestly, I don't want to see you lose. And the reason I don't want to see you lose is because I'm trying to teach you, I'm trying to give you the tools. And I keep saying this and I keep banging on about it. Nobody will give you these tools. These tools are free. I don't need anything from you. Once you've got these tools, you can then make your own decision. Be independent. Be your own boss. Be your own boss and make your own entry. It's nice and well, you guys wanting to know where my entries are. Fine, I'm a good guide. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to click that button on Mexi, L-Bank, wherever it might be. And you need to have full conviction in that trade. And also leave that trade. Stop watching it. If it hits your stop loss, if it hits your take profit, great. Move on to the next trade. And where's the next zone? Where's the next zone? Or if you're a long-term trader, investor, and you're looking for an investment, then enter and then leave it. Just DCA in more as you go along, as it hits more support zones, as we go up, and then it retests the support zones. Keep buying then. Okay, cool. I've banged on enough about the philosophy. Let's just get straight into the other stuff. So Ponke, if I was looking at Ponke, I would potentially be getting in around this zone is the first zone that I'd be looking at. But wait, CS, it's already gone nuclear. It's got all this stuff. Ansem, the scammer, has well, that's my opinion of him. Take that as you may want. But Ansem has now put the ticker about Ponke and blah, blah, blah. Great, that's all well and done. But they just shorted the market against you. He put that ticker and then they just shorted it against you. See what whales do? They make you excited. They FOMO in. Look at the flock. He puts the ticker out and then it's going up. It's going up. Bang. You're out of the game, lad. You're out of the game. Unfortunately, don't chase after these influencers and shillers. Don't get excited by what they post. Take a deep breath, read it, and be like, okay, cool. I'll keep that on board. But I'm not going to make any decision within the next hour or two. You have to make a game plan. Sorry, I'm still going on about the philosophical stuff. But my point is, I'd probably be looking at this zone, or it may come back and actually retest the outer edge. That would be fantastic if it came all the way down here. But I think first DCA position, if you were going for a leverage long, would be around here. Maybe there. 5.0, 5.0, 5.2, around this zone. That looks like a perfectly good zone. And then Kaspa. Wow. The chart of all charts, man. Like, if you look at this chart, every time I look at it, I'm just like, wow, I'm in awe. Look how beautiful this chart is. It literally just goes up, retraces, up, retraces, up, retraces, up, and we never come back down here now. Retrace. So it's like the 1, 2, 3. 1. See how they get smaller? 1, and then down. 1, down, 1, down. 1, down, 1, down, 1, down, and then 1, and then we're going to get that massive 1 again. We are going to get that massive 1 again. But for where we're at here, this is another weekly support that I've been looking at. We've also got this trend line, this ascending trend line here, and we've retested this on Kaspa. If Kaspa comes anywhere within this zone, I'd be putting buy limits everywhere around here. 0.16, even 0.17, maybe put a bit just to get a starting entry. But anything in this zone will be fantastic. If it got an absolute slap, let's say the Bitcoin got smacked up and the market went bearish for whatever reason, look, I've already found the resistance zone for you. It's around here, 0.152 on the weekly, 0.48. See how these are two other zones? I might as well just add them in. There you go. And then there's the other zones for you. done. Very, very quick analysis in theory, even though I've done a lot of more talking on philosophy as usual. But hopefully it's been beneficial for you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.